Hi, how's it going? Jeff Sherman here, and today we are going to talk about lead generation systems. Um, it's a pretty broad topic, so I'm going to cover a lot of information, and then I'll break it down into smaller subtopics over the next few weeks because there's just so much to talk about when it comes to to lead generation. Um, Last week I talked about holding your clients accountable and creating that accountability system that's going to guarantee that your clients get results. And the reason I taught that last week first is because if you're not getting your clients results or if you're not holding them accountable, it doesn't matter how many leads you get into your business, they're not going to stay very long, if they're not seeing results. So that's the first system that you definitely want to implement, and that's going to set you apart from all the other boot camps, other gyms out there, because most places they're just a number. So today we're going to talk about lead generation, which is everybody's biggest problem. Everybody thinks there's just not enough leads. And once you learn lead generation, it's actually the easiest part. It's one of the last things that I gave up in my own business. But generating leads is actually pretty easy once you learn how to do it. You have paid versus like non-paid, lead generation or marketing. All marketing costs something. Marketing is not free, so you're either going to spend your money or you're going to spend your time. And I'm going to talk a little bit about both. So if you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of money to invest, like in an agency like Fitness Marketer to run your ads for you, or to even market on Facebook yourself and give it a go, like you don't have an ad budget, then I'm going to teach you some no cost, but it'll just take up some of your time. I'll teach you some of those methods as well. So first we'll just talk about paid, because the most obvious that everybody's been talking about for the last year or so, actually the last couple years, is Facebook marketing. And Facebook marketing could be its own video all by itself, because there's so many details that you need to know to get it right. Most people just figure out how to set up an ad, throw some money at it, and when it doesn't convert, they just say it doesn't work, in their area. But with our agency, Fitness Marketer, we're managing over 100, ads. We have over 100 ad clients all over the world, and we're getting, great results for most, if not all of them. And we figured a lot of this stuff out, and I'll be teaching you some of that stuff over the next few weeks. But Facebook, like I said, is the most obvious, marketing, paid marketing system right now that's working the best. And when I say system, it just means that you need to have a process, not just throw some, different promotions up there here and there and see if it works. You need a process in order for it to actually be a system and actually for you to be able to teach it to somebody else and delegate or automate, the process or the system. If you don't want to create it, you can always just hire a Fitness Marketer, to do it, and we do a great job and we'll do it for you. But you just want to make sure that you have a very strategic plan of what promos you're putting out there, when you're doing list building, when you're doing like a low barrier offer or a front end offer, what to do if you're not getting results, how to split test. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of details that get involved just for not just Facebook, but all paid advertising and marketing. And I'll go over that in more detail in the next couple of weeks. One of the best things that you can do for lead generation is really teaming up with other businesses that don't compete with you, but serve the same clientele as you. And for most people in the fat loss world, it's going to be moms. So like gymnastic centers are great, daycare centers, any like those blow up bouncy hut places, laser tag places, miniature golf places, martial arts, any place where moms take their kids, they're already going to have like distribution to the same clientele that you have without actually competing with you. So you really want to cultivate those relationships and make it a win-win for everybody, but you need to be able to go to them in a way that they feel that you're trying to help them rather than you're trying to use them to grow your business. And I'll go over a couple of those right now. So for example, I teamed up with the Gymnastics Center when I first started my boot camp, and they actually didn't even have an email list, but I just subleased space from them in the morning to run my boot camps when they weren't even open, and negotiated just a small percentage of the gross in exchange for having access to the place. Well, I taught them how to collect the email addresses from all their members, and I even taught them how to do EFT, because they were charging like a flat rate for 6 weeks and then trying to sell them again. So we just got them on monthly, and I was able to help their business that way. And once I helped them build their email list, then all I did was went to them and said, hey, now that you have this email list, you should monetize it, and I have a program that can help you guys tremendously. We have a 14-day fat furnace program for $47. And I want to give you 100% of that. And I have the emails already written out. All you have to do is send the emails to your members. And all the money that you get, you can put it towards new equipment. You can put it towards camps or competitions, uniforms, or whatever. They're already doing a lot of fundraising for their competition teams. They're either doing car washes or selling candles or candy or standing on the corner of five-gallon buckets asking for money. So this is a much better way for them to not only make a lot more money, because most typical car washes, they might make $300 to $500 if they're lucky. If they get 10 people, through this, that's $470 right there. And the first time we ran it, we got over 50. So they made a lot of money that they were able to put towards, uniforms, equipment, whatever. And it benefited me, but the way I presented it to them showed them how it was going to benefit them more, especially on the front end, without hurting their business, whatsoever. So you definitely want to I recommend everybody teaming up with the gymnastics center, because it's an obvious choice. It's worked over and over again for me. And now that I've helped them grow their business, they'll email out anytime I ask, even if it doesn't benefit them, because now I've helped them so much. I've done it with other businesses, like I've done it with a chiropractor. Didn't get as good of results, only because only a certain percentage of their clients are a good fit. Most of them are older and in pain. Program probably isn't going to be the best fit. Same with massage therapists. I've tried it with those. I've had the best luck with gymnastics centers, cheer centers, martial arts studios, places like that, daycare centers. So definitely start introducing yourself to those business owners, getting out there. And those are the things that only you can do. You represent your business, so only you can go and meet all the other influencers in your area. You can't send a trainer to do that. So when you automate the rest of your business, it opens up your time to be able to go out there campaigning for your business and being the face of your business, and growing your network of affiliates or joint venture people that are going to help you grow your business, and vice versa. You want to leverage other people's email. Another way that you can do that is with hair salons. I've done where I would mail out a promotion for them. They mail out a promotion for me. So you can do joint mailers, where if you got a good relationship with the owner, then they might be up for an email swap, kind of like that. But a lot of people, they don't know you, are going to be a little skeptical. So you're going to want to go in, with a giving hand, asking, showing them that you have a program to raise money for whatever. You can spin it off of charity boot camps. So if you see a business that's sponsoring, some charity, then you can kind of piggyback off of that and go into them offering the same thing. Hey, I love what you're doing with this charity. I'd love to help out. I have this program. If you promote it, then I'll give you 100% that you can put it towards that, towards that charity. So again, you're going in with a giving hand. You love what they're doing with that charity, and you want to help. So definitely you need to have that. But again, these are systems, so it's not just doing it one time. It's having a very strategic plan and process, so that way you can do it every month, every 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. If you just do it one time, you're going to get good results, that one time. So definitely figure out how you can make this, ongoing on a consistent basis. And once you have the relationships, established, then you can have your manager reach out to them on your behalf and tell them what you have going on, because that relationship's already there. But in the beginning, you're going to have to walk in and introduce yourself, tell them who you are, and how you can help them. One of the other it's a little bit of a paid, because you have to buy the gift cards, but the $100 gift cards we used from the beginning, and they still work today. And a lot of people just kind of gave up and stopped using them. But there's so many things that you can do with the $100 gift cards to generate leads. We would use them mainly for fundraisers and charities as well. I used to do 100-mile bike rides with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and with the team in training, and we'd have to raise about $2,000 to $3,000 to do a 100-mile bike ride. And going and asking your clients for money, your friends, it can be, it can suck just asking them just for a straight up donation. But saying hey, I got this $100 gift card, you can buy it for 10, 20, 30 bucks, whatever you want to give for it, and you get 2 weeks of boot camp. So what I did was our coach, he would have different workshops at his house before we would do our long training rides. Sometimes they go over how to change a tire, how to turn through corners, how to go downhill, how braking, and then they'd also go over nutrition, and then exercise as well, cross training for the 100-mile bike ride. So when it came up for that training day, I asked if I could teach it, and just taught them some exercises that would help with the bike, and help talk about nutrition, and then talk about recovery and mobility and all that good stuff. And then at the end, I was like, and by the way, I have this program that's going to help you guys raise, a lot of money and make your fundraising easier. You could probably raise all $3,000 with this method. So I told them about the gift cards, and I told them I'd be willing to give everybody 10 to get started. And all they have to do is go to their coworkers or family members, let them know about the boot camp, let them know you're training for this, 100-mile bike ride, and you would love for them to support you in not only working out with you, because I gave them a free, free membership as long as they were constantly selling those gift cards up until the event day. So that way, the people they gave it to would come in and actually work out with them, which made it a lot more effective. But they would sell those for 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks, whatever they could get for them. All I asked was that they write down the name, phone number, and email of each person they gave it to, so we could follow up and make sure that they're coming in. And then I also said that if they decide to stay on board after the 2 weeks is up, that I would personally donate half of their first month, which would be $100 towards their fundraising. So that really motivated them to get a lot of people in there, and then also talking them into going longer. And the cool thing is that the event was like 2 or 3 months away. So after the 2 weeks is up, they still want to work out with their friend. Their friend's going to be working out for the next 3 months. They would normally join. So that was one of the best ways that we used the $100 gift cards. Whenever they would come in to redeem them, we would take it, but then we'd turn around and give it right back to them, and we'd be like, hey, thanks, but I think you're an awesome person, and I'm sure you have other friends that are just as cool as you. We'd love to have them in our program as well. So we'd hand those gift cards right back to them, and unfortunately, you can't use it, but you can give it to somebody else, to use, and we just get them back out there as fast as possible. And not very many people talk about using those $100 gift cards anymore, but it's still a great way to get the word out and get leads, consistent leads. A lot of the lead generation tactics and stuff that we talk about gets a lot of leads at once, and other things, have them coming in more consistently. They kind of trickle in. You never just want to have one pole in the water. A lot of people right now are so dependent on Facebook, and if Facebook changes the rules or just stops working for whatever reason, they're going to have a few months of a dry spell and start freaking out. But that's why you have to have as many poles, in the water as possible. Some that are just going to get a ton of leads at once, others that are going to have to be more consistent. They're going to trickle in, throughout the month. Before Facebook, it was like Groupon. Everybody was just building their businesses all off of Groupon. And then that went downhill, kind of quickly, everybody jumped on to Facebook, and we are figuring Facebook out, and it's working great. So if you have the budget, you have the money, I highly suggest that you do Facebook. But that doesn't mean you should not do all this other stuff. You should be doing it all, and you should have a system for it all, so that way you're not just randomly picking things to generate leads this month, but you have it all mapped out, and end up with a process that's teachable to somebody else. So one of the other things that we do is grocery store tours, and we do those once a month. And the smaller the grocery store, usually the better. So we go to we have Mom's Organic Market, or Mom's, in Maryland, or even Trader Joe's, is a good place to go to. And there's a right way and a wrong way to doing grocery store tours. If you just walk in and ask for the manager, and then ask, hey, I have this boot camp down the street. I was wondering if I could do a grocery store tour here, and bring a bunch of people in, and maybe even offer it to your customers. They're going to be like, yeah, right. You're trying to pick customers out of here for your business. It's probably not a good fit. So the way that you want to do it is you want to walk in, ask for the manager, let them know that you've been a customer, you love the store. You have 10 people in your boot camp that you want to bring in, show them how great the store is, show them all the healthy food, healthy options that they have, and on top of that, you want to buy $100 worth of gift cards today. You want to buy a $10 gift card for each person right now, if you could bring those people in. And so you're giving the guy $100 right there on the spot when you're talking to him, and then each client's going to get a $10 gift card when they come in. And you go ahead and let the manager know, obviously most people are going to spend $80 to $100 or more, so the $10 is just enough to get them started. And normally they're going to be open to that, because now they just made $100. They have the opportunity to probably make close to $1,000 on the day that you come in. So they usually are going to agree. So then you go back to your boot camp and you let people know that you're doing a free grocery store tour, but they're only letting you bring 10 people because you can't have a big, huge crowd like in the middle of the grocery store. So every seat is very important. So you need a $10 deposit to come to the grocery store tour, and you'll get that back when you show up in the form of a $10 gift card to the grocery store. So that way, it's actually free for you. You put the $100 up front, then you get it back when your clients pay to reserve those seats. And then once you're at the grocery store, you're taking your clients around, you're showing them, what's healthy, what they should be buying and whatnot. You're going to be causing, quite a scene with 10 people in there, taking notes, listening to you, putting stuff in their cart. That other customers are going to come up and ask, what's going on, or what you're doing, or when the next one is. And I'll hand them a $100 gift card, let them know that it's good for 2 free weeks. We do these grocery stores tours once a month, but it's only for members at this point. And then just pass those out and get back to your grocery store tour. At the end of the grocery store tour, go back to the manager, thank him, for letting you run the grocery store tour there. Tell them your clients love the store. I mean, their carts were like full. They probably spent $150, $200 each. Said they were definitely coming back. And by the way, while we were doing it, you had some of your customers were asking us like, what is this about? Like, when's the next one? How do I sign up? I was really just going to do it for my own clients, but if you like, I would offer it to your customers, as a favor to you for letting me come here. If that's something you want to. Now they're going to be more open to letting you promote the grocery store tour in their grocery store to their customers, where they see it at the checkout or wherever, and you're going to get new members coming in to the grocery store tour along with your own members, and that's when you're going to want to hand out the $100 gift cards, follow up, get them in for that 2-week trial or whatever, and or if you have some kind of other promotion going on, you can just sell them on that, and you're going to be able to pluck people out of the grocery store that way, and they're going to be highly qualified leads. So that's the way that you do grocery store tours right. Next would be like lunch and learns, and there's a right way and a wrong way of doing lunch and learns as well. The best place to do it is at your local real estate office. They always have people come in and talk. You may have to buy lunch, so it might cost you $100, $150 to get in front of 10, 15, 20 real estate agents. The main thing you want to go over is different health stats that what they're living like an unhealthy life, what that means for them in the future, kind of so that way they're aware of what the problem is, why they even need to be in shape. And then you talk about the types of workouts, which is like obviously the high intensity interval training or whatever, afterburn, whatever you want to call it. All these slides that's giving all this information, and when you see people starting to take notes, you just want to let them know like, hey, you don't have to take notes. I have all these slides I can send you. I'm passing, I was going to print them all out, but I'm going green and didn't want to kill all those trees, printing out all the forms, all the slides to give you guys. So I'm passing around a sheet. If you can put your name, phone number, and email down, I'll be more than happy to send you this entire program. And then you're going to get all their names and numbers on there. And then one at a time, you're just going to follow up, get them in there. Real estate agents are the best clients because they're influencers in the local community. They know every single new family that's moving into your town, and if they're loving your place and getting great results, they're gonna be telling them about it. And you can put those $100 gift cards in, like they usually give them like a new a new home or like a welcome basket or whatever, and you can just toss those cards in those welcome baskets once you get those relationships with those with the real estate agents. So I would start with your lunch and learns at every local real estate agent office you have in your town. And that's the way to leverage that and do it right. The other thing that you can do is interview other business owners. This kind of taking a couple steps back when I was talking about like leveraging other people's email list. Another way of doing that is like going in and like say you go into a hair salon and you introduce yourself to the owner or the manager, and you can say like, hey, I got this boot camp down the street, and a lot of the women in there were talking about how great your salon was. And I would love, I was in the area and I'd love to come in and just see what you do and what all the talk is about. They'll take you through, the salon or whatever. And I usually go in if they're there on a Monday, go in. If not, go as soon as they open on Tuesday. That's the slowest time, and that's and usually like a manager is opening, so maybe like 5-10 minutes before they're supposed to open, try to get in there, and that's the best time to talk to them. And they'll take you around and show you everything. And as soon as they're done, like, oh man, it's great. I can really see why they love this place. You mind like doing that again real quick, and I'll get it on, I'll get it on video. And so do it again, but this time get your iPhone out or get your phone out, get it on video, have them walking around talking about, how they're used, like, their shampoos are all natural, no chemicals or whatever they're, and ask them some questions, kind of interview them, and then let them know that you're going to send this out to their email list. To your email list, you're going to put it on your social media, and you're interviewing, you're interviewing them, but it's also, you're interviewing them as this boot camp owner, so you're going to get exposure that way. And once you email it out, put it on your social media, I'd go back to them and say, hey, my email list loved it. I bet you your email list would love it too if you want to send it out. Now, they're more apt to send that out because now they're being interviewed by you and you saying how great their place is. So it's all about them. And they'll send that out to their list, and people are going to be curious, like, why is this fitness person interviewing, this salon owner? And they're going to be, Googling your business or stopping in or, inquiring about your services. So it's another way to leverage, other business owners in a nonchalant way where it's actually benefiting them. And then again, once you get, a better a relationship with that business owner, that you would email it out. And they could do the same thing, do like a cross promotion or whatever. And that's probably like the main 4 or 5 like offline strategies that we did or that we do. And again, just need to create a process around all that to where you're doing it on a consistent basis, and for doing the lunch and learns, how often, when, who's up next, because you can always go back to the same offices. It could be different agents in that day, or it could be a different topic or whatever. So you can keep going back. If you have 6 to 10 places to do it, you could do one every week, and you wouldn't get back to the same one to like every 2 or 3 months. So it would be fine. And one of the other things, like I was saying before, you either have to you either have to pay for your advertising or you have to spend your time. I remember back when I first got started, I didn't know as hardly maybe 1% of what I know now as far as marketing goes. And when I didn't have any members coming in or clients coming in at the time, instead of just sitting there, and I was like, I have to do something. So what I did, I would just go outside and at lunchtime, and people would always walk to lunch in the area that I was at, and I'd just go straight up to them on the street and just say, hey, excuse me, how's it going? Can I ask you something? And they'll be like, oh, sure. Like, have you ever done a boot camp workout before? And it doesn't matter if they say no, if they say yes, the answer is always the same. It's like, oh, great. I just started this, indoor boot camp right here. We have AC and everything. It's right here. I would love for you to come in and check it out, and I'd love to get your opinion on it. People love to give their opinion. They love to help out. And they're probably like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll definitely do that. Like, all right, cool. Then ask for their phone number, email, or ask for their email first. Write it down, name, email, and then ask for their phone number. Phone number is a little bit more personal, so if they say no to the phone number, you already have their email, and you can still follow up through email. But definitely ask one at a time. What's your name? Awesome, nice to meet you. What's the best email address for me to reach out to you? Cool, and then ask for the number. If you go like, what's your name, email, and phone number, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's okay. I'll come by and check it out sometime, but they're not gonna give you any information. So ask for one thing at a time. But yes. Like, man, started doing the math and created a system for it, and the system was this. I just called it my 3 a day. I wasn't able to go home until I got 3 names and numbers and emails, and I had all day to do it, on my free time, no matter what it took. So if there wasn't anybody out front, if it was raining or whatever, I'd go over to like Barnes & Noble or a bookstore, go to the mall, grocery store, anywhere there was people, and just kind of act like I'm shopping, and then say, oh, excuse me. And the people that I would talk to, I actually, I would profile them. Anybody that was wearing yoga pants and running shoes, I made it, I had to talk to them. It wasn't an option. If you're wearing yoga pants and running shoes, I had to at least say, hi, and ask them if they've done a boot camp workout before. And if you get 3 a day, that's Monday through Friday, that's 15 solid leads a week. And out of those 15, even if you only got 5 to come in and try out your place, that's 5 people in per week, or about 20, a month. If you got half of those to actually join your program, that's 10 new members a month. At $200 a month, that's $2,000 increase every single month. And just with that one system is how I started to grow my business. Before I learned anything else, I just created that, because I was like, I'm not just going to sit around. I'd be in line at Starbucks, and if there's like 3 women behind me that were had yoga pants, running shoes on, and they were talking, I would order my coffee, and then I'd say whatever these 3, want, and then as soon as I did that, they'd stop, like, oh wow, thank you so much, and they'd order their drinks. I'd be wearing like my boot camp shirt, and so while we're all waiting for our drinks, they're going to be asking me, of course, they're going to be like, oh, so you're a trainer, what do you do? Like, well, actually, I just started a boot camp, and have you guys ever done a boot camp before? And same spiel, hey, I'd love for you guys to come in and check it out, and just, give me your opinion on it. And then I'd also have the $100 gift cards, and I'd say, and here's actually a $100 gift card, you can actually come in and try it out for 2 full weeks and give me your opinion on it, And again, once I would give them the card, then I'd ask for their name, email, and then phone number, one thing at a time. And again, just 3 a day was the minimum. Obviously, some days I got more. I never got less. So definitely gets you outside your comfort zone. Especially for me, I talk fast, I mumble. So like talking to total strangers wasn't what I like to do. So I just forced myself, to do it anyway. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. But just make sure that you have, multiple poles in the water or systems that are generating leads from different sources all at the same time, and never depend on just like one well or one source or one channel, whether it's Facebook or Groupon or referrals. How many coaching clients I've gotten, they're like, I'm like, how do you get leads? Word of mouth. And word of mouth can be a system, but it's not really a system. There are things that you can do internally to stimulate referrals. You can do like a referral contest. You can do like a bring a friend to boot camp day kind of thing. We used to do like community classes on the weekend so they could bring their friends for free on the weekend. Stuff like that. So you can definitely stimulate referrals. We would have we'd have signs hanging up all over our boot camp that would say like, thanks for choosing Fit Body Boot Camp for your health and fitness needs. The best compliment that you can give is to refer your family and friends. So like subconsciously they're reading that when they go to the bathroom, when they're sitting out front. So it's always in their head, like, to refer people, to bring them in. In my experience, the best way to get referrals is to give them the best results possible, because then their friends can be like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you working out? I need to get over there. So that's the best way to get referrals, is actually getting them really good results. Because even if they love you but they're not getting any results, it's going to be a hard sell for them. When they go out with their friends, if one of the other friends is doing a different program and lost weight, all the other people that are there, no matter how good you talk about the boot camp you're in, they're going to go to the one where the person's getting results. So you can make word of mouth and referral a system. It's just not, it's just one of those things where you just create an environment that suggests and stimulates, word of mouth or referrals. And so that's basically, we covered a lot. Like I said, it's really broad, and there's always the right way to do things, and then, the wrong way. And it's only usually like 1 or 2 little things that either make something work or make something not work. So over the next couple of weeks, again, I'm just going to keep getting deeper and deeper into each one of these things, and I'll map it out, step by step, so you can implement them and start generating more leads in your business, more than just from Facebook or just from referrals or however you're doing it now. You can start setting up these systems and automating them, and then delegating them to somebody else and keep them going. The worst thing you can do as a marketer, and I'm like, I do this more than anybody, is I'll create something and I'll spend so much time creating it, and it works really, really well. And instead of automating it and then delegating it, I come up with some other idea, and I stop doing what was working and try to see if I can get something else to work. But I've gotten smarter over the last couple of years, and now when something works, I just pass it on to somebody else, and then I go and create something else and try to get it to work. And then that way you're always adding to all the systems and lead generation that you have. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.